In this lesson, you will learn how to make your own light wrap. So we're almost done with this shot. We're just going to add the finishing touches. First thing is to add some light wrap to it. Now, what light wrap is, it takes the pixels from the background and it wraps it around the edges of the characters so it looks like he's actually in the shot a little bit more. So there are ways to do this with plugins, but I'm going to show you how to do this with just built-in effects from After Effects, which will give you the ability to add light wrap whenever you need to, regardless if you have the plugins or not. So the first step to making this light wrap is we need to create a background layer that has the shadow and the background in it. So we're going to select the castle door and shift select the shadow mat, and let's pre-composite this in the same layer. Go up to Layer, Pre-compose, and we'll name this BG for background. So now we have them both in the same layer. Now let's add a little blur to this to match the wizard better. Just go up to Effects, Blur, Sharpen, Fast Blur, and just add a 1.5 blur to the background. Because it's razor sharp because it's a photograph, it matches now the green screen character better. So now duplicate your background layer by hitting Control D and hit Enter to rename this light wrap. We're going to use this copy of the background to wrap around the edges of the wizard. So put it on top of the wizard layer, and let's increase the blur to 6. So you're going to want that blurred background to be more blurred around the edges. Now we need to cut out the background with the wizard layer. So to do that, we're going to use an effect called Set Matte. I don't use that effect very often, so to find it, we'll just type it into the Effects and Preset window, Set Matte, and it comes right up. Double click on it to apply. And what this effect does, it can take the alpha channel from any layer and apply it to the layer it's applied to. So we're going to say take matte from layer wizard fixed. And now if we solo it, we see it's cutting out the background with the wizard's alpha. Now the background of the composition is red and the door is red, so let's change that so we can see what's going on better. Under Composition Settings, click on the color swatch and let's change that to green instead of red. Click OK. Now we can see what's going on. So next we're going to blur the edges of this cutout background. To do that, we're going to add another effect called Channel Blur. To find that, type that into Effects and Presets. And after you type CHAN, it should come up, Channel Blur. Click on that to apply it. And we're going to increase the alpha blurriness to blur these edges. So let's increase this to 16. See, that blurs up our edges. Now we need to make a cutout of just the edge of this. And the way to do that is take your Set Matte and hit Control D to duplicate it. And now move that under the channel blur. And now go up to the first set matte you have. And if you click on the Invert This Matte, it cuts out just the edge of the background. This is exactly what we need to make our light wrap. So if we unsolo it, it's being laid on top of the edges of the wizard. Now let's set this mode from normal to lighten. So it will lighten up just the bright bits in the background over the edges of the wizard. So let's zoom in and see what it's doing here. Flip it on and off, look at this little window and under his chin. You can see that it's adding some light right under the window, and it's adding a little bit of a bounce light from the door on his chin. So it's a very subtle effect, but it really helps sell the shot. Also down the legs, we can see some of the bounce light from the door is reflecting on the legs. So light wrap is a really nice way to integrate the character into the scene. And now you know how to make your own light wrap. The wizard's really starting to look like he's actually there.